Hello everyone and welcome to the Australia-New Zealand 4-key tournament. I'm joined by my fellow commentator staynoidedd.
Hello everybody.
And I am Lusty Platypus, of course. We're jumping straight in. There's been a slight delay. I believe this is just into the warm-ups here.
Yeah, we're just getting started here. We're getting a 7-key map, I think this is it. This is it not?
That's crazy work.
It's crazy work for a 4-key tournament.
I suspect this is Willow's pick for warm-up, but yep. Today we have our bracket B match, Willow versus eplup. And I think this is going to be an interesting one, actually, because I suspect that they have competing skill sets.
Yeah, very much. Willow is a lot more accuracy focused there, so she definitely does have the advantage in these early map pools, especially in the rice category. I think that she'd really excel here. eplup, he's been around for a while and unproven skills in the tournament, but I reckon this is going to be a good match to keep going.
Yeah, I think the LN picks are going to be very interesting here, and also the SV as well, because it is purely rice for the SV. But it is, again, it's still an SV map, so like you still have to practice it, and some people, you know, they don't have that gumption, so it'll be very interesting to see the protects and the bans coming into this. I think it'll shape up the match.
Definitely. We're just finishing up our warm-up now. The SV is quite sight readable, so both these players must have gone acquitted to the map by now, but we'll see who has the better accuracy by the end of the match. And yeah, we're getting started right here.
We're just pausing now for some small technical difficulties while we sort out the stream. It's a bit of a rush, but we'll be with you shortly. In the meantime, maybe we could discuss the two matches that have been played so far.
Yes. So we had just a couple of hours ago, if I'm not mistaken, Anthony Edwards, aka Average, versus Kniferism. As we know, Kniferism is a old player, but he's coming back onto the scene, and we're really glad to see him again. And Anthony Edwards is a rising star. He only really just picked up his play in the last year, so it's really interesting to see how that match played out. Kniferism did only score 1 point, with it being the SVs, so really just showing, you know, his preferred and more comfortable skill set, while Anthony Edwards held a comfortable lead on every single other chart. And then on yesterday, we had Jam and Claw versus Spicy Meme. Do you want to talk about that, Kniferism, while we get ready?
Yep. So Spicy Meme, that's a name from my time, which I recognize. Classic New Zealand player. and Jam and Claw I'm not too familiar with, but we did see a 4-0 in Spicy Meme's favor. We did see, I believe it was LN bans, but protects for SV, which came from Spicy Meme, which ended up giving him a point, which I think, you know, goes to show that practicing those SV picks, it's always going to be essential because of the protect mechanic. If the other player is proficient on it, they're going to protect it, and they're going to take that point if you haven't played it at all.
Certainly, and we're just getting started here. I think right now we are going on the protects, so we're going to get 2 protects, 1 from each player. See what they want to protect, if they want to protect the SV, if they want to protect an LN. I assume that Willow would want to protect a more comfortable Rice pick, or maybe the SV if she's practiced it, and then we'll go on with the bans.
Yeah, I think Masquerade is a very, very high priority pick for Willow. She has a score on the leaderboard of the rank that I saw with, I think, 4 normal 300s or something along those lines. So definitely tough competition on that chart. So I wouldn't be surprised if it got banned, if not protected.
Definitely. Bit more interesting to see on the LN side, both of these players not really more known for LN. Maybe Willow does have a bit of the upper advantage here, just by naturally being well accustomed to accuracy charts. But maybe eplup can punch above their weight and maybe get a pick on one of the hybrids or even the LNs.
Yeah, and it is worth noting that these Rice picks, like other than Masquerade, I don't think any of them are like straightforward Rice ACK maps. Like Snow Goose is quite fast, and then Refrain has those very tricky little 1/6 rhythms and bursts inside them as well. So it's not a cut and dry. Like there is potential for misses and 200s there, here and there, which can really ruin an ACK player's score at the end of the day.
Definitely. We also see with the last Rice map you did not mention in Pepsi, there are some little LNs there which can, you know, lower the score, especially in such a early rounds. Picking up greats is really not something you want to do. So really exciting to see if, especially on that pick, because I really like that. I think it's my personal favorite of the pool.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy Pepsi a lot as a pick. I think it'd be interesting to see if eplup goes for LN picks. I think they did score higher than Willow in the qualifiers on those picks. But those LN picks in the qualifiers are obviously a lot harder than these ones. So it'll be interesting to see as well how they translate into this match.
What I'm really hoping for that doesn't get banned is Fevrex's How to Make Slime. That is a brutal, brutal map, and I really, really want to see how both of these players can adjust to especially the LN releases of the second half. It really gets you. Like I was playtesting and doing replays for this map pool, and wow, that was like probably one of the hardest to act in the entire pool. So really exciting to see everything all over here.
Yeah, definitely the How to Make Slime is very, very tricky with the releases. I found it actually, I think for me, it's probably one of the hardest maps in the pool to actually score well on consistently.
Definitely. It's a far cry from the other hybrid map, Be With You by CRISPR. It's very straightforward. There's probably only like one section that Willow and eplup need to be worried about. But I think that's a very safe pick, especially on Willow's end, because the LNs, they aren't too bad, and you know she does excel in consistent 1-4 streams. So really interesting to see how everything goes.
Yeah, for sure. I think Be With You will be a consistent safety pick for a lot of people. I don't think it's going to see much flack from protects or bans, so it'll kind of always be around for people to pick. Whereas, you know, usually you'll see, typically the LN and SV will attract a lot of flack. So if you're a player in that sort of skill set, you definitely want to invest protects there.
We are actually getting notice that the chat is currently broken, so we can't see any of the protects or any of the bans that are coming in place. But I think we're getting information on them relatively soon. And yes, Willow has protected the SV. Sweet Dreams, which is a relatively, sight-readable SV chart, but I think she really wants to hammer down her practice of the chart and hopefully get a lead over eplup.
Yeah, for sure. And also worth noting that the SV doesn't have any long nose in it at all. So it's very ACK friendly.
Definitely. Just a little bit of pauses and teleports, but, you know, as we saw on the showcase, it's very, very easy.
Yeah, if you're someone who managed Weeble Wobble in the qualifiers, this will be a piece of cake for you.
Do we want to talk about Weeble Wobble? That was an insane feat. Yeah, so definitely.
I didn't watch the showcase, so when I played them all blind, and that was a surprise. Like because the last tournaments I played in were, you know, before 2020. And it was a lot easier back then for the SV pick, let me tell you.
Yeah, they've definitely evolved over the time, and especially with the mapper we chose, Jono, they're very known for making kind of janky, hard to read, awkward SV charts. And we actually see someone, I don't know, it might be eplup, banning the LN. And Pepsi's banned.
So no. I think Willow's banned Love It, and eplup has banned Pepsi.
Yeah, I would have expected them to ban some straightforward but risky thing. I think Willow definitely excels in that techie rice and straightforward. I would have expected them to ban Refrain, but Pepsi's also a respectable ban.
Yeah, I think any of the rice picks as a ban for eplup is a pretty safe bet. And Love It, I think, is also like the straightforward ban for Willow. It's one of those maps where it's like all LNs, it's very quick. Well, it feels very quick. And if you're not comfortable with your LNs, it's very easy to just drop so many times.
Yes, definitely. And we're just trying to find out who is going to pick the first chart.
I believe, by the way, eplup protected Raindrop.
Yes.
Giving information.
Yeah, Raindrop is a bit more on the difficult side of this pool to get good accuracy on. You expected to drop a lot of 200s there. I think eplup's banking on Willow dropping more 200s than he will. So very interesting to see, especially in that regard. Because Australia's more focused on rice, so it's really interesting to see how they do on the LN.
Alrighty, now we're just going to see, I think we have, Willow's first pick. So I expect to see Masquerade or the SV pick out the gate, if I'm guessing. And if it's eplup's first pick, I think we'll just go straight into Raindrop.
Yeah, you tend to see people starting with that protects. Oh, right out the gate with How to Make Slime by Fevrex. The hardest in the pool, in my opinion. This is going to be a very interesting opening round.
Especially because this is a map where the first half is, in my opinion, a lot easier than the second half. Like, the techie, like, LNs and hybrids and all that in the second half are very tricky. It's very easy to slip up, and especially with the added pressure of being on the stage. I think there's a very big potential for upsets in this map.
Yes, definitely, especially with the LN releases. If you're not careful with them, those 200 counts can just stack up so quick. So really interesting to see what's happening.
Shouldn't be much longer until we get in now. I appreciate everyone's patience waiting with the technical difficulties.
We're getting along.
Yeah. It's 80% there. Once the chat's there, we're 1-3.
Well, we're home away.
Here we go. First map in this first streamed match of the tournament here. Willow versus eplup on How to Make Slime. I think it's a great pick to start on.
Definitely. I think that was a client miss, but we'll see. As we continue, Willow holding very high accuracy, but I think that actually was not a client miss, and that actually was.
Like it's a real miss.
A real miss.
Another drop from eplup.
Willow's kind of running away with it on at the bat, but we do get more chances, more slip-ups. If Willow can just hold and like they can mess up, like get a couple 200s, but if they can just hold, I think they're running
Potential
away.
miss from Willow here as well. Never mind. Flying bug.
Flying bug.
Got too excited. And yeah, you can just see the accuracy from Willow here is also like it puts a lot of pressure on eplup. Even without the misses, Willow would have quite a strong lead here just from like the accuracy itself as well.
Yes, definitely. We're approaching almost halfway, a couple more 10 seconds ago, and Willow is still holding a 99.93. That's really impressive.
Yeah, very much so. We only see a few accuracy drops in the LNs themselves. But other than that, you can see the hit rate. Oh, and another miss for eplup. It's going to be very devastating, especially since they just got to that 400 mark.
Yeah, approaching halfway now. It does seem like the fate of eplup is sealed for this map, with a 98.69. So it's respectable, but Willow is kind of just tearing apart this chart right now. Oh, they do drop a 200.
A little bit of accuracy drop there, but I don't think it's going to matter unless we see a lot of combo breaks here.
Definitely. Seems like they're holding on. We approach into the more difficult range of this chart, and we do see Willow dropping to 99.76. Ooh!
A big miss from Willow as well. That could spell trouble. I don't think it's going to close the gap completely. Oh, if eplup held on, it might have been enough though.
Yeah, if eplup held on and maybe Willow made a couple more mistakes, it could have been a lot closer, but I think the accuracy advantage is just too much for combo to matter in this. We're
seeing a big gap now. It's going to. I don't think there's enough left in the song here with eplup to catch up.
No, and these LN releases are hell timing, and we see both of them kind of just struggling in this. But at the end of the day, Willow just had that immense accuracy lead in the first half. So no matter how many mistakes she made, she still pulled through. And eplup with a low 98, it wouldn't say close.
Yeah, looking like about 57,000 point lead here for Willow. And you saw going into the first half, Willow having like a 99.94 and then coming out with a little bit of a tank to the accuracy there in the end. But the ratio as well is just so strong. Makes it very difficult to catch up, especially if you're not holding us that 400 combo mark.
Definitely. We see no FCs on both sides, but it's very clear who practiced more or who's more experience in these LN releases and graces that this map provides. And we go into the second map, which I assume is eplup's pick.
They're flying a bit blind on that one. I think we will see a bit more LN action.
Just waning out the technical difficulties. As you can see in the top, it does say 1-2 to eplup right now. That's obviously not true. We'll try and get that sorted out. There we are. All fixed.
All fixed. And we go into the other hybrid pick here, Be With You. I suspect that this is Willow's pick.
Yes, it would be. Red team is Willow, blue team is eplup, and Willow opting for the more safe pick, even though she did win the first point. This is a more straightforward hybrid. It's labeled generic, and it will be a lot more comfortable for Willow, but we could see eplup push above their own weight here.
Yeah, this map, I think, is a lot safer, which means Willow's going to be able to leverage the accuracy advantage a lot more. But that being said, if eplup can hold on to their combo and Willow drops somewhere, I think it's going to be a lot harder to catch up as well. It's a double-edged sword.
Yes, definitely. The more safe pick it ends up, if you do make a mistake, it could spell the end for you. And we'll see if Willow can hold on to the consistency she's known for, or if eplup can, really punch up and see if they can get this all going.
Worth noting as well that this map has a more forgiving OD as well, meaning that eplup has more chance to catch up in ratio as well.
Yes, definitely. We'll we'll see. There is one section in the middle that I remember playtesting for, and it was a little tricky. That is where I believe most the match will be decided. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm actually very excited for this.
Yeah, this is definitely a pick with again, like, one mistake and it's potentially over. So, just waiting to go into the match now. I'm sure it'll be very soon.
Here we are. As the laser client gets accustomed to starting, we start with the hybrid 1 be with you.
Yeah, and here we go, right at the gate. You can see it's still early days, but the accuracy difference almost a percentage point ahead for Willow just at the gate.
Yeah, we do see the score v2 really leaning into Willow's favor, who has practiced predominantly on these type of patterns. And we see she execute nearly perfectly, almost no 300s there. That's seriously impressive stuff.
Yeah, very strong consistency, but and you can see the LN releases for eplup are a bit rough. But in the streams as well, I think the OD really helps out eplup here, meaning that the 300 perfect range is a bit bigger. So we're seeing not quite as perfect as Willow's consistency, but it does match up if there are trip-ups. You can see that accuracy is recovering on eplup's side.
Definitely
200s there.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely. You do not want to be an opponent of Willow, especially on these early map pools where she really shines. And we're entering the halfway point where I did say before that more chances to trip up. So if Willow does one miss, I reckon this could be a lot more closer than it currently is. But it does seem like she's holding on to that consistency really well.
Yeah, I do think one miss in this map and it's all over. I doubt we'll be seeing it, though. I think we're through the roughest part, unless there's a choke at the end.
There's not too many chokes here. It might be just cool runnings for Willow again, as eplup managing to get better accuracy than last time, but still struggling on these more release-focused charts. But we're running out of LNs in the pool. There's only one map after this that has LNs in it, and we'll see really who shines in the Rice. But Willow running away with this at the 99.84 and showing no signs of stopping.
Yeah, this is just a very commanding lead here. Even a few 200s that Willow got from the releases just before is not going to be enough to even this out. It's going to take something drastic, and I don't think there's enough. So I think this could be another point to Willow, bringing the match to 2-0. Eplup's pick, though, like you said, there's only one LN pick left in the pool, so I wonder if that's where we're going to be going, given that that was the protect for Eplup.
You see that ratio difference is now 89 300s to Eplup's 410. Really impressive score from Willow here. Despite getting 4 grades, it's still a 994k. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it's a very strong ratio there. Like a 994 with 4 200s is nothing to laugh at. So I'm not surprised that's a pick that Willow went for.
Definitely, and I'm getting information that eplup protected the LN2, so maybe they're going to be choosing this LN2 pick to see if the more release-focused coordination can trip up Willow, and start getting the point. But we'll see if they opt for that or they want to start with the Rice.
Yeah, I definitely think this is Eplup's best bet at getting a point here, because you look at the remaining picks after this. You have 3 Rice picks, which is basically Willow's specialty. We saw a ban in the Rice pick from Eplup because of that. And then you have the SV pick, which doesn't have any LN in it, and was actually Willow's protect. So you'd have to assume that she's practiced it and is confident if they're protecting it.
Definitely, we're entering into LN2 Raindrop, Eplup's protect, so really want to see Eplup win this. If not, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward that Willow's just going to choose the SV and run away with it. So this is really going to decide the fate of the match. So we really want to see Eplup lock in and see if these releases can trip up Willow more than they trip up eplup.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the picks I think eplup does have a chance on. There was, in the hybrid picks, there was a bit of shaky accuracy with some of the releases, but I think what eplup's hoping for here is like Willow maybe dropping some combo in some rough spots and taking the win there.
Yeah, this is a lot more unconventional and less straightforward, even than how to make slime. With how to make slime, not many notes there, so you could argue that, you know, focusing on the releases was a main priority, but this is a lot more coordination focused and really just hoping that Willow drops some 200s here from eplup.
Yeah, we see right at the gate the stark difference already as well. No longer having the 99.94 accuracy. Oh, and a big drop out the gate as well. This might end up being a big saving grace for eplup here. All
This definitely could be. This could be what eplup hoped for, as they start off the map with a small lead, but they do need to lock in. They do not hold the accuracy advantage, but they do hold the combo advantage. So if eplup can stabilize their accuracy, they could definitely get a point off this. But as we see Willow recover from the early start and the miss, it'll swing back into Willow's favor.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most ideal miss for eplup timing-wise. It was very early on the map, so the advantage generated by that has already been negated by the accuracy from Willow. We'll need something more for eplup to end up taking the lead here. Let's see, coming into this... Oh, and another miss as well. That's actually a big swing for eplup here. We got the full 400 combo miss.
eplup really needs to hold his combo here. It doesn't really matter accuracy anymore now. As we can see, the lead is still shrinking by a little bit. So we do need... Oh, another big miss for Willow. This could be what eplup is hoping for.
Yeah, I definitely think that now eplup just has to focus on holding on. They obviously have no idea what what has transpired on the other side of the match, but I'm sure they're just focused on holding on here. Oh, another big miss from Willow.
Yeah, wow, they're really not holding on to these LNs really well. I think eplup's gamble here works. This protect is paying its dividends, and we approach the final quarter of the map. Willow missing again. Even though they do have higher AC, eplup is still just holding on to this combo, and that's really what's making the difference, where Willow is just crumbling, but eplup, he's holding on.
Yeah, it's very crazy that the accuracies are so close despite Willow dropping combo so many times. Just having the combo itself is enough to give eplup a huge 30,000 point lead, which is the biggest lead we've seen in eplup's favor.
Yeah, and yeah, it does seem Willow's kind of given up a bit. A lot more misses, a lot more erraticism than eplup's stable. And they do actually have more AC than Willow at the end of it. So a total domination for eplup, and that brings them on the board and in the fight.
Yeah, very convincing W there for eplup with the full combo, only 100, and a slight accuracy lead, but a huge combo lead there.
Definitely. We see the 300 count showing Willow's tenacity in accuracy. But at the end of the day, it was the combo that mattered in this one. And thankfully, eplup is still in this fight. And I assume that Willow's going to try and edge it out with a SV pick.
Yeah, it is quite rough, the remaining pool, I think, for eplup. There is actually maybe only 100 LNs left total in the pool, in all of the maps.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It is quite grim, but you never know. It's never say never. I do suspect we'll see the SV pick, or maybe, yeah, SV pick it is.
There we are.
So we're going to Willow's Protect, and we will see just how much Willow has practiced this one.
Yes, definitely. If Willow wins this pick, it's definitely going to be coming up Willow, as each and every other map, I fear, is tailored more to Willow's favor. She really can hammer in, especially on Masquerade. If she doesn't get this, she can definitely fall back to more comfortable picks. So really, even though we did get a lifeline from the LN, eplup needs to show that he's practiced this SV map, and but I'm not really too concerned of Willow's just general accuracy. Even in the last pick, you did see that the 300 count was still in Willow's favor, and it most definitely will be. So maybe banking on the pressure of losing a point definitely is what eplup's banking on.
Yeah, and for SV picks, it's always potential that you mix up one section with another. I mean, for this map in particular, you can just play by sound, so it's not quite like Weeble Wobble where you can mix up like, oh, is this the left trill or the right trill? But it's always possible. The OD is quite forgiving, so eplup will be equalized a bit more in accuracy potentially. So I'm not willing to call it down and out just yet. I think if this was Masqueraded, it would be a bit more difficult. But yeah, I think there's still potential here for a point to eplup if, if there's a confusion and they mix up the zones or they get confused on the beat that they're on for the slow jam. Never say never.
I really do love this chart. This chart's amazing.
Yeah, it is quite fun.
Bit of an homage to Fortune Mania World Cup 2023, I believe, players. This was one of the maps in the map pool, and we decided to choose it again because, it's just great. And we see straight off the gate, Willow showing the tenacity again with this accuracy, dropping barely any 300s, while eplup is struggling, just dropping 200s left and right.
Yeah, the accuracy difference already is huge. Again, this is like the LN pick where it's going to need to see some combo drops from Willow to actually see a meaningful lead develop for eplup here. But the slower jam section is really rough for eplup here. We're seeing a 3 percentile accuracy difference here, only 500 combo in.
Eplup's worst fears were proved correct as Willow has thoroughly practiced this pick, going in with an extremely impressive halfway point of 99.87. And even though they're both holding full combo, it's just so clear who really practiced this pick.
Yeah, we see this time and time again where the SV pick is usually the one which has the biggest score differentials, just because, if you haven't practiced it, you even for this map where it's sight readable, but you'll drop a lot of accuracy. And it just ends up being such a crazy score differential for someone who's actually put in the effort and really grinded it. Not to say that eplup necessarily hasn't put in effort to learn it, but I mean, Willow is absolutely crushing it right now. We see a combo drop for eplup. I think that kind of seals the deal.
Yeah, the scores speak for themselves of who really practiced more on the SV. This could be a sight read for eplup, but what I find with this map is, you tone the scroll speed down once or twice because it's still relatively fast, but dropping a little bit of accuracy. I think a 200 and another one from Willow, but it's too little too late. Willow's just running away with this.
Yeah, it's an absolute massive score difference here. I don't even think that this can be made up, even if Willow lets go right now. It's a huge score difference here just on the accuracy side. And then we have it 991k, nearly 992 on the SV pick. That's very impressive.
And we reach match point for Willow, 3-1. It is eplup's pick, so this pick decides whether eplup stays in or gets knocked down to the lower bracket. But it's not looking good for him. These map pools, especially on the rice end, not tailored to him. We're going to need to see Willow taking some misses if we want to see eplup still in this fight.
For sure. I think you definitely here, you just have to play towards your outs. I think pick the hardest rice pick you can think of and just try and hope for full choke. I think refrain is probably my choice for the most difficult to act of the rice picks, and we see eplup going for refrain here, so I think they agree with me.
Definitely these higher BPM, more bursty jump stream patterns could give eplup the advantage. Will is more used to these slower BPM 1/4 jump streams, so maybe he studied his opponent, so maybe it could lead to another point, but still looking very dire for eplup.
Yeah, and these little burst trills at the start, they're nothing to scoff at. They're very chokeable if you just lose focus for a second. So I think this is definitely the best pick to take a point here for eplup. We'll have to see if it pays off. I definitely think Masquerade, you have to avoid like the plague here.
Definitely, especially with the tenacity of Willow. Especially, you do see her dominate those basic chord jack and jack type maps, and you see so many number ones, so many 1 mils. Really, really impressive stuff.
Yeah, it's always the chord jack map that has, you know, the leaderboard. Everyone's tied up. Like the number 1 is 1,000,000 and the number 2 is like 1,300.
Yeah, I do think when I did the play tests and the replays for this, I think my score was top 9. So very, very easy to get really, really good accuracy on. But we're not going with that. We're going with Refrain, and Refrain is the opposite of that story. Refrain, you will possibly drop with these bursts and these patterns. So really excited to see this one as we lead into match point for Willow.
Yeah, definitely the hardest. I would say this is the hardest rice pick to act on. It has a high OD as well, or relatively high for this pool, 8.5. I think that's the highest we've seen in this match so far. Which does mean I think that the accuracy side for Willow is going to be shining a bit more. So it will be a question of, can Willow hold a full combo throughout this this chart?
Definitely. We are starting into this 158 BPM, quite high BPM for a week 1. But as we start in here, eplup dropping an early 200, not good sign for the rest of the chart, as Willow also has just general high rack.
Yeah, because he has strong the accuracy is on these 1/4 streams, but we're coming into a little bursty bit here. We'll see whether or not they trip up either of our players.
Definitely. As you can see, eplup hitting a little bit early, maybe not accustomed to this BPM or this hit pause, and another 100. Really not good, as Willow is still quite comfortable, but no break so far.
Yeah, Willow handled those little bursty sections quite flawlessly, so it's going to be quite rough here for eplup. The accuracy as well with the OD 8.5 is starkly different, despite them really not having dropped much. There's a 0.6% differential. Oh, a little bit of lag here while we catch up.
In the meantime, we can still talk about how this is still quite a bursty chart, and it's a very short chart as well. So one single break could actually lead to a dramatic score difference, but it does seem like halfway point. No one's dropped so far. We're just still in this lag.
Yeah, and you can see we're just over the halfway mark here, and it's about a 12,000 point difference, which is actually not that big for the halfway mark. It's definitely comeback is possible here for eplup. I don't think it's going to be on the accuracy side. I think it's on Willow. This is Willow's point to lose at this point. A miss would be catastrophic for either player, basically.
Yeah, we are on match point, so if Willow does win this, we move on to the next scheduled match, but we're kind of just stuck in limbo here, I'm not gonna lie.
Radio. I think we're seeing here the wrong difficulty was played for Refrain here. We played on 1.0, not 1.1, so I think we're seeing a reset here.
Bit of a sheet mix-up. That's a bit embarrassing on our half. We apologize. We are going to be going into 1.1 instead of 1.0, but we do need to hammer out these technical difficulties first.
Alrighty, looks like we're going in for real now. Relinquish 1.1x of the map Refrain. Same OD. but a little bit harder this time. 173 BPM instead of 158. Definitely the fastest map, or at least it feels like the fastest in the pool.
Yeah, definitely. We could potentially see, with it being higher BPM, more chance for Willow to mess up here, but we are in the right map. This is the right pool. By Ballistic, Relinquish 1.1 as we get started here. A bit same old, like the previous Voided match, but just slightly lower AC on Willow's end.
A missed eplup there on the little bursty bets. I think that's going to be really hard to come back from. We can see the lead now, 20,000. It's much bigger than even the halfway mark before. We were at 12,000 when the break happened.
Yeah, especially this is one of the shortest songs in the pool. So one miss really does spell the end, and we are kind of looking at the beginning of the end as we approach this halfway point.
Yeah, even though you'll miss it.
Even though eplup has sort of regained accuracy, 99.21, Willow is still holding on with, I think, a V1 double S as we approach the last third of this chart.
Yeah, coming into the end here, I think it's going to be rough to come back with a 25,000 point lead. No combo break so far. It's going to take a massive break for Willow to drop this point here, and I just don't think it's going to happen here coming into the end.
Willow hitting these bursts and these rolls really well, a lot better than eplup, unfortunately. And we approach the end of the map, and yeah, there's just no going out of this. Willow is just completely got the game in her hands, and that does mean Willow wins.
Ooh. And that will be, yes, match point to Willow, 4-1. Very formidable performance from both players, but unfortunately for eplup, Willow's accuracy plays are just too strong in this stage at the moment in the 3-star range. But GG's, well played, everyone.
Yes, GG's, well played. We did see, though, Willow does have a little bit of weakness, so for future opponents studying Willow, maybe just, hammer in on that. Ellen isn't her strong suit, but really do avoid those easier, more straightforward charts, as she really does excel on them. But congratulations to her regardless, and we hope to see a strong performance from her in the coming week.
Yeah, absolutely. Going into the following weeks, it'll be interesting to see how much that accuracy translates over. It's a very strong boon to have, especially in those rice picks, and especially like we were saying before, those core Jackie picks. It can be very strong to have a lot of strong accuracy skills. And the SV as well can be handy. It'll be interesting to see if the SV talent also translates over to more complicated patterns and also withholds. We'll have to see more from Willow in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I was really looking forward to those hybrid picks as well. And as we see in the schedule now, Willow moving up. I don't know what those abbreviated names are, but both of those, that will happen at a later time, and Willow will be versing one of those.
Yes, I believe that is Gamtor Games and GG Snipes, which is the one next match, I believe.
Yes, that is the next match.
In 20 minutes, that one will be. Yep, you can see here now.
Yep.
And then following that, we also have Dime Choco Bar and Komodo XZ.
Yep, I'm really excited to see that one because I really would like to see Dime Choco Bar's FCV steals shine as they did in qualifiers.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be a protect angle for the SV for them, I believe. And then you can see as well the other matches as well. I'll just quickly go over those. Selsky versus Alaminar. Totally Not Nick versus DDDDD 999p. Finally, Overx versus the Sorcerer.
Yeah, we do see a lot of old head names here. I think some older people would recognize GG Snipes. Been around for longer than I've been alive, probably, let's be completely honest. Really excited to see them back in this tournament. It's really good to see all these older players kind of just, putting their hat in the ring.
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely half of this bracket is the retirement home bracket. The Unk battle.
The Unks.
And we'll see a few of us are already starting to drop off, so we'll see how much of us last.
Yeah. The newer gen really showing, but you guys got them in the SV. No one can take that away from you.
The kids, you know, they got the hands, but do they have the patience to grind the same map 50 times? We'll find out.
We will find out. I'm really excited to see these matches coming from, but that has been this match. We will see you next time in 18 minutes from now. This has been Blake, aka Lusty Platypus, and me, staynoidedd, signing off.
See ya.